The Brisbane market has been heating up. The on-the-ground swell that we're seeing is moving, and there's certainly more competition out there than there was 3 to 6 months ago. And so what I want to reveal to you is a recent client purchase in the low $1 million range in the inner middle ring of Brisbane. And the reason I want to share this asset with you is there are a lot of property investors who have access to funds and want to buy more blue chip style assets on good sized blocks in inner suburban areas. And so this purchase was for one of our clients who was looking for exactly that, an asset between 1 to 1.2 million that ticked their boxes in terms of the current condition, had upside potential, and was in a family friendly street. So let's take a look at some of the photos now together. On screen here, you can see some photos of this recent investment property purchase. One thing to note is this property is located on the north side of Brisbane in an older area. And so you can see by the roof, there's battens along that roof line, which means that these panels are likely asbestos. The thing to note about asbestos is if it's in good condition and untouched, it poses no risk to renters and owners on site. And so it's just something to be wary of when you're looking at investment properties. When you see these battens, that it's likely asbestos, but if it's in good condition like this, it's generally not something to worry about. And it's certainly not a reason that I wouldn't buy an investment property, because we care about the land and location first, and then the asset that sits on that land to generate a yield. As you can see from this photo here, the kitchen's been fully renovated. To me, to eye, it looks like all IKEA with a grey subway tile backsplash. Very well presented, nice, neat and tidy, and ready to go for tenants. This is a front view of the home. You can see that it's been repainted. It's got a newer front fence, a little, I was going to say outhouse. That's not the right word. A little gable house. I'll be in trouble if this is an outhouse out the front of your property. A nice little gable house out the front here for people to enter and ring a doorbell, and then a more modern home that was likely built in the 50s to 60s. As we move through, you can see across the road, there's a beautiful parklands here. And so this home is slightly higher on the street and has a nice elevated position looking over the parklands. As we move through, you can see they've sanded and sealed the floors. It's got an aircon, ceiling fans, and some built-in cabinetry here. Nice light in the room with lots of windows and doors, security grille screens, which is important for tenants when they're renting an investment property. And definitely up here in Brisbane, having an aircon is a huge plus for tenants as well. As you see, the room is well presented, a reasonable size space and good condition. Again, the sales agents are harping on about the park and the view and the family aspect of this property and location. And another shot of the kitchen. As you move through, there's a small dining area off the side of the kitchen. You could open up this wall potentially to expand between the two areas, but it's not something that I'd be doing from an investment side. This home is more of a set and forget style asset, which you just buy in the low millions. You sit on for 3, 4, 5, 7 years, hold through this next cycle, and there are definitely going to be owner occupiers who are willing to pay big money to buy in this area in the future. It just shows you there's some exterior access from this small dining area. And as we move through, you can see a shot of the master bedroom, aircon in the top right, ceiling fans, roller blinds, some built-in older style robes as well. Kids' bedroom, again, aircons throughout, which is great, and some built-in robes. All very straightforward and very similar. I don't mind the color palette of that kind of light baby blue gray. It's quite nice and breaks up the color of the home between the floors and the white ceilings. And the bathroom's been completely done. Now, the bathroom for me is probably one of the biggest areas that is a pain to spend money on. If you see a bathroom that's fully renovated like this, that's probably worth in the vicinity of $30,000 to $50,000 at this point in time in the market. Bathrooms have gone up a whole heap in terms of cost, especially floor to ceiling tiles and well-finished bathrooms. There are a lot of trades out there, but they'll either charge a mint for very average work. So if you see decent work and a well-presented bathroom, it's definitely worth the money in this market based on how this property is presented. So this was a big draw factor that the kitchen and bathroom were well done and well presented. This just shows you that there's heaps of space out front and parking space out there. You could put a double carport here and there's drivable access up both sides. You could probably extend the driveway up the right-hand side and look to do a raised secondary dwelling out in the rear yard down the track. So I was saying to our client, you might want to put a double carport here in the future and then a driveway up this right-hand side for a secondary dwelling. There is a little patio space in the backyard, which was probably used as a car parking space for a boat or caravan back in the day. But they've done a good job of actually dressing it up with just a ceiling fan and a little bit of paneling here. And it just changes it from what would have been probably a caravan or parking space into a nicely presented outdoor dining area. You can see how big the backyard is here, so plenty of room to add a secondary dwelling in the future, or for someone to do a knockdown rebuild and have a really nice block if they want to spend $800,000 doing a beautiful brand new home. It just shows you how good that space is in the rear yard and how clear the side access is. So that was one of the considerations for this property, and nice and flat. Heaps of room here. It's certainly something I'd be thinking about in Brisbane City Council, is potentially adding that dwelling in the rear yard, looking at strata titling or just secondary dwelling opportunities. And so that's ticked a lot of the boxes for our client long term to just have that potential. It's not something that they were looking to do immediately, but something that they might do in the future. Again, good location, nice quiet street. And that gives you an aerial shot of the property showing that it's 622 square meters, big space in the rear yard where that current covered patio is, and nice drivable access up the side. And so we're really happy. And again, this is the address, 2 Maryland Street in Stafford Heights. And so you can see Brisbane City in the background here. It's not too far away from Brisbane City, set back away from the busier roads in that nice quiet pocket across from the park, and very much a family-friendly area in terms of the houses and condition of other properties around it. So close to the local schools, and yeah, the position is very good. As you can see on screen here, we bought the property for $1,092,500. So just shy of the $1.1 million mark. Now, for myself and this client, this property presented great value in terms of what they were looking for. They were looking for a set and forget property. They were looking for upside potential in the long term and resale into the owner-occupied market. So this property being just about 10 kilometers north of Brisbane CBD, around that $1.1 million mark, presented good value for our clients. We were able to secure this deal by negotiation with the agents and going back and forth with them. We have an inside edge as buyers agents buying across Southeast Queensland and specialising in this market. So we work with the selling agent to negotiate on the deal and secure the property. We then discussed with our clients the opportunity with the property in the future, and we were able to secure this deal at around that, just shy of that $1.1 million. And so for me, there are lots of clients out there who want these types of deals, set and forget assets, good block size, so 600 square meters plus. In this case, drivable side access, lots of rear space at the block, a nice quiet street. So it ticked all the boxes from our client's point of view, and they were very, very happy to come and see the property and meet myself on site because they were an interstate investor. And so that's something you can do if you're thinking about using a buyer's agent when you do get the property under contract, either at building and pest or pre-settlement inspection. You can come up and meet myself and the team and walk through the home if you'd like to do that in person. Of course, a lot of our clients use our services as buyer's agents to do the work remotely for them. And so you could be in New South Wales or Victoria or all the way over in Perth and still buy here in the greater Brisbane market in terms of securing the right property purchase for yourself. And so if you'd like to do that, if you want to sit down with myself and have a free session where we chat for 20 to 30 minutes about your situation and about how we can help you secure a property here in the Brisbane market, then head over to purposeproperty.com.au. This is what we do day in, day out. We are a buyer's agency that specialises in 6 councils, from Caboolture on the north side all the way down to Gold Coast. And we have a dedicated team that are boots on the ground in terms of scoping and searching for the right deals. And you get to work directly with myself, which is hopefully a perk of our business, that we are hands-on. We do take a hands-on approach. And so you will get to work with me directly as your buyer's agent and lead in terms of being the director and owner of the business. So if you're interested in any of that, head over to purposeproperty.com.au. What do you think of this deal? I think it's a cracker at 2 Maryland Street in Stafford Heights. Stafford Heights as an area has a lot of potential and is gentrifying with a lot of new builds and major renovations. So love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Give this video a click because YouTube really thinks that's the one you need to watch next. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.